So the switch has arrived. Isn't it always amazing that when you're looking for something, it always seems to come in late or go missing, and that's what happened in this particular case. But the switches did arrive, and we have a 7. We have 2 7s, 3 7s, and 3 3s, and we have the wiring diagrams. What's impressive is these things actually have them on the side as well. So anyway, I'm going to start wiring or rewiring this morning, and that way we can get all this wiring finished up. So Michael printed this out for me because I'm old, and I guess I could look it up online, but I seem to like paper ones a little bit more because they kind of help me at my age. But what impresses me is, if you'll notice, that they actually have them on the side of the switch, which is really cool, because some of them don't. So anyway, kind of want to refresh my memory a little bit here about what we got going on, or what we did. So last week I don't know if he already videoed this, but we put this in, and we will obviously be finishing that up, connecting it up to the switches. We haven't decided, or we've decided to put 2 bars up there, but I don't know, we may change that. We're kind of going backwards and forwards. We're in one of those really bad situations of trying to decide what's the best way to go, and it's kind of going to be a compromise either way at this stage of the game. On the original boat that we did, the dash was fully removable. This dash, we don't want to remove it because it's been in place for a long time, and we don't want to have to pull the steering and all the rest of it to get it out. So we're going to be wiring in place, and in doing so, it means that we might have to make some compromises on the way we would like to do the wiring. But we got this connector in, and we will be doing the connections up to the gauges, and then obviously I'm going to wire that this morning. So that's what I'm going to get started on, and there's your update. Hopefully I did a good job. Let me see if I can set this thing up to make a little bit of a video. If not, sorry. So we've been hard at it, and we've got the ground switch or ground wires all ran, and we have the power wires ran. Basically, you can see the installation come along very nicely right now. The orange is to the horn, which is on the opposite side, and this here is the power wire for the fuel gauge, which has to go up to the gauge. So that's the reason why those two are separate. So wanted to say, these, you don't realize the switches until you start playing with the new ones, and those are very, very nice. So anyway, that's kind of the update of where we're at. Now I guess we get to run the other wires, so we're going to take a look at how we're going to do that. So we're pretty much finished up this. We haven't done too much videoing because most of it you've seen before. Have our 2 nice connectors, one for power and
one going to the accessories.
One going to the accessories, different, so you can't mix them up. Everything labelled both ends, which makes it very nice if you troubleshoot them. But this is what we had before, and this is what we end up with. Some of this is, there's add-ons, and this is the old style way of getting power and ground. You want to stay away from things like this, these kind of connectors. And also there's another kind of connector which I'll find, show you on that. The ones that clip on the outside, don't do that neither. So it's been a pretty busy morning. I spent quite a bit of time on this, but it turned out real nice. So we've got to go back over to the boat and kind of evaluate the rest of the stuff we're going to do over there, so we don't get ahead of ourselves. So it worked really well this morning as working as a team on this to get it finished up. Now we've got to kind of get over to the boat. Very easy to get into a little bit of a rush here, which we don't want to. And we've got to figure out now where we're going to cut these wires back to get really good connections, and where we have a loop, and then also getting it to our fuse panel. So we'll have another set of things coming out with another connector on. So very excited. Probably take a little while to evaluate this and decide where we go from here, but have a good day. So we got you down there doing a real good job of cleaning up so we can get the anchor things for the wiring so we can get it to stay in place. So we've been spending all morning, sorry about that. Been spending all morning getting all this straightened out. But we're slowly but surely cleaning everything up. Some of this may have to be redone. We're having trouble. These things are supposed to stay in place and they're not, so we might have to come in and epoxy them all in place, which is fine. But right now, as long as we get the wires routed so we get nice gentle curves and everything in its place, that's what we're looking for. Starting to do the connections up here. Really would like to have everything in place today. We've got this all figured out on the switch panel and stuff, so when you get through cleaning, I'll get Michael to give me the camera and I'll go down and give you an overview of what's going on. So you has been working on that, putting those in place so we can run the wires. And then up here, those are the two buzz bar thingamabobs. And above that is like all the wires for the graph and other stuff that's not being used, so we've got it tucked up out of the way. And then over here we have the light. There's going to be a bunch more stuff up in here before we're all said and done. Don't worry, all the labels are going to come off. It's just in case I have to pull it, I don't have to keep asking everybody what it is. So that's kind of what's going on right now. I'm going to put some more in place and then we'll give you a little bit more of an update. So anyway, there you go. Okay, so an update from under here. As you can see, the wiring is still coming along really nicely. This probably isn't going to really do it justice, but we'll see what we can get. But anyway, we still have quite a bit to do. We obviously have to fix this here, all this up, but we got the majority of it done. So I'm going to turn it off here for a second so I can sit up. So hopefully the quick little video I just did under there comes out okay. If not, we've got some fairly nice still shots that we can insert in. Been a long day, but overall I'm happy. There's still a lot of tidy up to be done under there, but at least we're getting the wires up out of the way and have a general feel for our connectors. We're going to have to put in some type of clamping system up at the front for the hydraulic lines, for the steering and the big cable, and we're going to address that next week. I know a lot of you guys don't like wiring, but I'm going to tell you something. I found a picture of the before, which I just sent to a friend of mine, Bill Riley, because he asked me what I was doing, and I sent him a picture of what we have, and I sent him the before picture, and hopefully Michael will insert that, and you'll see what we have before and what we have now. When it's all said and done, it's all labeled, it's going to be really nice, and I believe the client is going to be really happy. So that's basically it for today, because I'm wore out again. It's tough for an old guy like me having his arms over his head for 4 or 5 hours. Quick update. I wasn't here yesterday. I took a day off. My birthday weekend, I partied too much. So, the guys have been hooking up all the wires, as you can see. And Hugh is back there researching all the fuse sizes and doing a discount double check on exactly what fuses need to be in, and doing all the research on that, making sure that the information we already have is accurate. So it's always good to go back and double check those things, and that's what Hugh's doing this morning. As you can see, these are what you call service loops, and these will all very neatly be looped in and put behind. That way, if there ever is a problem, this box can be pulled out on and worked very, very easily. You guys are going to be happy to know that we are on the downside of the wiring. So today we're going to hook up the gauges, run some ground wires and some power wires, and then we should be double checking each line to make sure we're correct. We did make one mistake the other day. We forgot to put in a inline fuse. Wasn't there, but I want to put an inline fuse on this line under here, coming from here, because I think it needs one. Or we'll pull the engine cover and see if it has one back there. So I haven't decided on that yet, but either way, that's one thing. The other thing is that we're obviously getting to the point where we've got to address the cover here, and we save these things because we're constantly doing research. So when you work on your boat or do something like this, don't throw this stuff away until you're 100% sure that you don't want to go back and double check it. So yeah, I can't tell you enough about that, because when we go through this, there's always something that comes up and it's like, oh, how was this or how was that? These are the power and ground wires we're going to be running today. It's cool here in Houston today, so the wires aren't cooperating. So we're going to get those.
What's the humidity?
Huh?
What's the humidity?
There's not much humidity because it's cold. It's not humidity when it's cold.
What's wind direction and speed?
I swear to God.
This is a klaxon horn. This is the top of the top. Even motorcycles have this. I was looking up the fuse size because it doesn't say it on here, and we couldn't remember which one it was. But I was in the process of researching the fuse size. I found out klaxon comes from Greek roots, and it means I shriek. So that was the biggest thing that he really wanted me to tell you guys. I don't think he cared about the fuse size at all, but I think that little piece of information will definitely help in restoring your boat.
Why are we happy? Take two, because we didn't get it right the first time. Because we disconnected the wire, forgot to reconnect it. But anyway, the wiring, believe it or not, is complete, with the exception of the horn. So press the switch all the way up.
All right.
We have lights all the way down. We have the back light
Put it in the middle.
in the middle.
I press this button.
We have light. So here we have the
Interior light.
interior light. See that? Sorry?
We'll have more lights. But there we go.
So we only have one hooked up to that right now. Then we have the bilge.
All right.
And we have
Fuel, turn the key.
the fuel.
Well, no one's going to see it.
We have the fuel, but we had to manually check them. So we took them out, manually checked them, make sure the gauge worked. These are not connected. They
So-
are up there.
So we got our starboard works. Port works. And the timer works as well. So that's about it.
And we have
Oh, yep. Trim. Yep. The only thing we don't have is horn, the USB power, and we just checked the fish finder. We put my voltmeter on it, and we had power. So, yeah, pretty cool,
Okay.
huh? Yep.
So that's the weight off our mine. And, still got to go back and tie out some loose ends under there, but
I would say we're like 90% done.
yeah, we're 90% done now. All we've got to do is put the collars on the back. And the real main stuff of making sure everything works is done, and big stress relief. So really happy. I hope Clyde's happy. I guess we'll be sending Clyde a personal update. But yeah.
That's it for this week, guys. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please be sure to hit that thumbs up button and also subscribe, and check back next week where we get to working on the deck expansion. Until next week, guys.